I didn't expect my sister's wedding video to change my life. I thought it would be the usual montage, slow music, soft lighting, smiling faces pretending everything was perfect. Instead, one accidental clip exposed a secret my family had spent decades burying. And once I saw it, there was no one seeing it. My name is Olivia Carter. I'm 28 years old. And this is the story of how my sister's perfect wedding video revealed the darkest truth about my family. If you enjoy real-life stories like mine, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what happens next. My older sister, Rachel, had the kind of wedding people still talk about years later. The venue was a restored estate outside Charleston, all white columns and oak trees dripping with Spanish moss. Every detail was curated custom signage, handwritten vows, a string quartet that played modern songs like they were classical pieces. Rachel has always been like that. Perfect grades, perfect job, perfect life, at least on the surface. Growing up, I learned early that comparison was inevitable and that I would always come second. I wasn't bitter about it anymore, or at least I thought I wasn't. 2 weeks after the wedding, Rachel invited the immediate family over to watch the final edited video. Our parents were buzzing with pride. My mom kept wiping her eyes before the video even started. My dad poured wine like we were celebrating all over again. We settled into the living room, lights dimmed, the television glowing softly. The video began beautifully. Drone shots of the estate. Rachel getting ready, laughing with her bridesmaids. Our mom helping her into the dress, whispering something that made Rachel tear up. I smiled, genuinely happy for her. Then came the ceremony footage. The camera panned across the guests, friends, relatives, familiar faces frozen in polite smiles. And then, for just a few seconds, the lens caught something it shouldn't have. My dad. He was standing near the edge of the aisle, half turned away from the ceremony, speaking urgently to a woman I didn't recognize. His hand was gripping her arm, not gently, not casually. His face wasn't the proud, emotional expression he'd worn all day. It was tense, almost angry. The woman looked uncomfortable, cornered. The clip lasted maybe 3 seconds before cutting away. No one else reacted. Not my mom. Not Rachel. Not a single person in the room. But my stomach dropped. I leaned forward, my heart pounding. "Can you rewind that?" I asked. Rachel frowned. "Why? I thought I saw something," I said carefully. My dad cleared his throat. "It's nothing," he said too quickly. "Just background footage." Rachel shrugged and kept the video playing. But I couldn't focus anymore. My mind replayed the image over and over, my dad's grip, the woman's expression, the urgency of the moment. I knew that look on his face. I'd seen it once before. I was 12 years old, sitting in the backseat of our car, when my dad pulled over suddenly and got out to talk to a woman who'd been following us for 3 blocks. I remembered her crying. I remembered my dad telling me later that she was confused and that I shouldn't worry about it. I had worried anyway. When the video ended, everyone applauded. Rachel hugged my mom. My dad kissed her cheek. I felt like I was standing in a room full of strangers. That night, after everyone left, I stayed behind to help clean up. Rachel loaded the dishwasher while I wiped on the counter, my thoughts racing. "Who was the woman in the video?" I asked, trying to sound casual. Rachel paused. "What woman?" "The one Dad was talking to during the ceremony." She stiffened. "Oh, her. She's—" "No one. A distant guest." "You're overthinking it." I watched her carefully. Rachel didn't meet my eyes. That was when I knew something was wrong. Later, in my childhood bedroom, unable to sleep, I opened my laptop and replayed the wedding video link Rachel had shared. I scrubbed through the footage frame by frame until I found the moment again. I zoomed in. The woman wasn't just uncomfortable, she was terrified, and clutched in her hand was something that made my breath catch. A folded document, with my name on it, clear as day. Olivia Carter. My hand started shaking. I paused the video, staring at the screen, my heart slamming against my ribs. Why would a stranger at my sister's wedding be holding a document with my name on it? And why did my father look like he was trying to make it disappear? In that moment, I realized the wedding video hadn't exposed a mistake. It had exposed a reckoning, and whatever my family had been hiding, it was finally coming for me. For a full minute, I just stared at the paused frame on my laptop. The grainy image of the woman's hand, the folded paper, my name printed in bold letters. It didn't feel real. It felt like the kind of detail you'd miss if you blinked. But I hadn't blinked. I'd rewound it 3 times. Zoomed in until the pixels blurred. My name was there. Olivia Carter. I shut the laptop like it could bite me. My mind raced through every possible explanation, and none of them made sense. Maybe it was a seating chart, a thank you note, a vendor form. But why would my father be gripping her arm like that? Why would she look afraid? I didn't sleep. I kept replaying the moment in my head, the way my dad's body blocked the camera for a second. Like instinctively he knew he was being captured and wanted to hide. Instinct like guilt. The next morning, I drove back to my apartment in Colombia with my stomach tight the entire way. I work as a leasing agent for a property management company, and that day I barely functioned. I smiled at residents, answered emails, nodded through meetings, all while the question hammered inside me. Who is she? And what does she have with my name on it? That evening, I called my mom. I tried to keep my voice light. Hey, Mom, random question. Who was that woman Dad was talking to during the ceremony? There was a pause on the line. A small one, but I felt it like a crack. What woman? She asked. The one in the video, I said. During the ceremony, near the aisle. Another pause. Then her tone sharpened, just slightly. Olivia, it was a busy day. Your dad talked to a lot of people. I know, I said. But she looked upset. She was probably emotional. My mom replied too quickly. Weddings make people emotional. Mom, I said gently, why are you acting weird? I'm not, she snapped, then softened immediately. Sorry, I'm just tired. We've had a lot going on. I swallowed hard. Can you just tell me her name? Silence. I don't know her name, she finally said. Ask your sister. I did, I replied. Rachel said she was no one. My mom let out a breath. Then she was no one. The call ended shortly after, my mom claiming she had something on the stove. We both knew it was a lie. I stared at my phone, a cold certainty spreading through me. My mother knew. Maybe not everything, but enough to want me to stop asking. So I did what I probably should have done first. I called my brother-in-law. Rachel's husband, Andrew, is calm in a way my sister never has been. He's the type who notices tension and tries to diffuse it with humor. The type who doesn't love conflict, but doesn't run from it either. He answered on the second ring. Liv, hey, what's up? Can I ask you something? I said, about the wedding day. He hesitated. Yo, sure. That woman Dad was talking to during the ceremony, I said. Do you know who she is? There was another pause, heavier this time. I could hear Andrew's breath on the line. Where did you see that? He asked carefully. In the video, I replied. It's there for 3 seconds. Andrew exhaled. Okay, yeah, I remember her. My pulse quickened. Who is she? I don't know her personally, he said. But she showed up earlier that day. She tried to talk to your dad near the bar. Your dad looked like he'd seen a ghost. My mouth went dry. Did Rachel see her? Yes, he said quietly. And your mom? And? I pushed. And Rachel told the videographer to keep filming, but not to focus on your dad, he admitted. She said it would ruin the mood. My hands clenched. So they knew. They all knew. And no one told me. Andrew's voice dropped. Lev, I don't know what it's about. I just know it rattled your dad. He disappeared for 20 minutes after she left. I took a shaky breath. Andrew, in the clip, she's holding a paper with my name on it. What? His voice jumped. I'm serious, I said. It has my name, clear as day. Then you need to talk to Rachel, he said. Right now. I tried, I said. She shut me down. Then don't ask, Andrew replied, surprising me with the firmness in his tone. Tell her what you saw. Tell her you're not dropping it. After we hung up, I sat in my car for a long time, staring at the steering wheel. I knew what I had to do, but my body resisted it like it knew the truth would hurt. I drove to Rachel's house anyway. She opened the door with a forced smile that faded the second she saw my face. Olivia, what are you doing here? I need you to tell me the truth, I said. Her eyes narrowed. About what? I stepped inside without waiting for permission, my heart pounding. About the woman in the video, I said. The one Dad grabbed. The one holding the document with my name on it. Rachel's face went pale. And for the first time in my life, my perfect sister looked scared. Rachel didn't speak right away. She closed the front door slowly, like she needed the sound of the latch to steady herself. For a moment, we just stood there in her entryway, the air thick and uncomfortable. You shouldn't have seen that, she said finally. My stomach twisted. That's your answer? She rubbed her arms, suddenly restless. The video wasn't meant to be analyzed frame by frame. I'm not analyzing, I snapped. I'm asking why a stranger showed up at your wedding holding a document with my name on it, and why Dad looked like he was trying to make her disappear. Rachel's jaw tightened. Lower your voice? No, I said. I've spent my whole life being told to lower my voice. I'm done. She looked toward the hallway, then back at me. Andrew's not here, she said quietly. You don't need to perform? Good, I replied. Then stop performing too. That landed harder than I expected. Rachel's shoulders slumped just slightly, like the weight of pretending had finally become too much. Sit down, she said. We moved into the living room. The wedding photos were already framed on the wall, her and Andrew smiling, perfect and untouched by reality. The irony made my chest ache. She wasn't supposed to come, Rachel said, sitting across from me. She promised she wouldn't. Who is she? I asked. Rachel swallowed. Her name is Claire. And why does she have paperwork with my name on it? Rachel closed her eyes. Because it involves you. I laughed once, sharp and humorless. That much is obvious. She leaned forward, elbows on her knees. Do you remember when Dad almost left when you were a baby? My breath caught. What? You were too young to remember, she continued. I was 8. I remember Mom crying in the kitchen. Dad sleeping on the couch. People whispering when they thought we couldn't hear. I stared at her. No one ever told me that. Of course they didn't, Rachel said bitterly. They don't tell you anything. What does that have to do with Claire? I asked. Rachel hesitated, then said, Claire is connected to that time. The room felt like it was shrinking. How? She and Dad had a relationship, Rachel said quietly. Not like an affair exactly, more like unfinished business. My pulse thundered. You're saying God cheated? Rachel winced. It's more complicated. It always is, I muttered. But it's never better. She got pregnant, Rachel said. The words hit me like a physical blow. What? She got pregnant, Rachel repeated, her voice flat now. Around the same time Mom did. The room went silent. I couldn't breathe. You're lying. I wish I were, she said. Mom found out late. There were lawyers, agreements. Everything was handled quietly. Handled how? I whispered. Rachel looked at me, eyes glossy. Claire had a daughter. The world tilted. A daughter. Yes, my mind raced. So why is my name on her paperwork? Rachel's voice dropped to a whisper. Because that daughter might be you. I jumped to my feet. That's not funny. I'm not joking, she said, standing too. There was confusion. DNA tests weren't as easy back then. Dad panicked. Mom panicked. And somewhere in all of that, lines blurred. My heart felt like it was tearing itself apart. You're telling me I might not be Mom's biological child? I'm telling you, Rachel said carefully, that Claire believes you are her daughter, and she's believed it for years. I shook my head. No, that's insane. She tried to reach out before, Rachel continued. Letters, calls. Dad shut it down every time. Threatened legal action. Told her she was mistaken. Then why now? I demanded. Why my wedding? Because she's sick, Rachel said softly. And she wants answers before it's too late. The room spun. I grabbed the back of a chair to steady myself. And you all just kept this from me? Rachel's voice broke. We thought it would destroy you. I laughed, tears spilling down my face. Congratulations. You waited too long. So you knew? I asked suddenly. You knew before the wedding? Rachel nodded slowly. Yes. And you still invited me to sit there smiling while a woman who might be my real mother was being dragged away. Her silence was answer enough. I felt something inside me go cold. You don't get to call yourself perfect anymore. Rachel flinched. Olivia, no, I said. You protected your wedding. You protected the image. But you didn't protect me. She took a step toward me. I was scared. So was I said. But only one of us was kept in the dark. I headed for the door, my hands shaking. I'm going to Dad's, I said. Tonight. Rachel's voice cracked behind me. Be careful what you ask for. I turned back once. I already lost the family I thought I had, I said. Now I just want the truth. And with that, I walked out, knowing that whatever I learned next would change everything I believed about who I was and where I came from. I drove to my parents' house on autopilot, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles hurt. Rachel's words kept looping in my head, each repetition landing harder than the last. She had a daughter. That daughter might be you. Every memory suddenly felt unstable, like it might slide out from under me if I looked at it too closely. My childhood. My face in the mirror. My place in this family. All of it was suddenly up for debate. The porch light was on when I pulled into the driveway. My mom must have been expecting someone. Or maybe she was just waiting, the way parents do when they know a storm is coming. I didn't knock. I let myself in. My dad was in the living room, sitting rigidly on the couch, hands clasped together. He looked up when he saw me, and something in his expression told me he already knew. Rachel must have called him. Olivia, he said carefully. You shouldn't be driving this upset. Don't, I said. Don't start with concern now. My mom appeared in the doorway, her face pale. Sweetheart, is it true? I asked, cutting her off. My voice shook despite my effort to keep it steady. Is there a chance I'm not your biological daughter? The silence that followed was devastating. My mom's hand flew to her mouth. My dad closed his eyes. That was answer enough. I laughed weakly. Wow, so that's it. Decades of secrets, and the truth comes out because of a wedding video. It wasn't supposed to come out like this, my dad said. It wasn't supposed to come out at all, I shot back. Was it? My mom stepped forward. Olivia, please understand. No, I said. I'm done understanding. I've spent my entire life being the one who understands. I turned to my dad. Tell me everything. Right now. No editing. No protecting. No lies. He swallowed hard. Claire and I were together briefly before I met your mother, he began. When your mom got pregnant, Claire came to me saying she was pregnant too. The timing was close. I panicked. Of course you did, I muttered. She wanted answers, he continued. I wanted everything to go away. So you threatened her, I said. You erased her. My mom's voice broke. I found out after Olivia was born. There were tests done, but they were inconclusive. The doctor said it was likely Olivia was mine. Likely? I repeated. My mom nodded, tears streaming. I chose to believe it. I chose you. The words should have comforted me. Instead, they hollowed me out. And Claire? I asked. What happened to her? My dad looked down. She raised her daughter alone. I paid child support quietly for a few years, then she stopped responding. We assumed she moved on. Or gave up, I said coldly. My mom sobbed. I was afraid. Afraid of losing my marriage. Afraid of losing you? So you built my life on a maybe, I said. On your fear. My chest ached so badly I thought I might collapse. And now she's sick. And she shows up at my sister's wedding holding proof. She wants a D in a test, my dad said quietly. I stared at him. You don't get to want anything. My mom reached for me, but I stepped back. I need to know who I am, I said. And you don't get to decide whether I find out. My dad nodded slowly. We'll do the test. No, I said. I will. I turned and walked toward the door. Olivia, my mom cried. Please don't shut us out. I paused, my back to them. You shut me out first, I said. I'm just finally noticing. That night, I sat alone in my apartment, staring at my reflection in the dark window. My eyes, my nose. My smile, were they my mother's? Or Claire's? For the first time in my life, I felt unmoored from my own identity. But beneath the fear, something else stirred, resolve. I would meet Claire. I would take the test. I would face whatever truth waited for me, because lies had already taken enough from me. And whatever the result, it would finally be mine. I met Claire 3 days later. We chose a neutral place, a small cafe halfway between our cities. I arrived early, my hands wrapped around a mug I hadn't touched, my heart pounding like I was walking into court instead of a coffee shop. Every woman who walked through the door made me look up. Then she came in. Claire was thinner than I expected, her movements careful, like her body tired easily. Her hair was streaked with gray she didn't bother hiding. When her eyes met mine, she froze. Not dramatically, just still, like she'd been holding this moment in her chest for years and finally couldn't breathe around it anymore. Olivia, she said softly, as if testing the name. Claire, I replied. We sat across from each other, strangers connected by a truth neither of us asked for. Up close, I noticed things I'd never questioned before: my eyes, my cheekbones, the way my mouth tilted when I frowned. Similarities I might have ignored if Rachel hadn't torn the curtain down. I'm sorry I came to the wedding, she said after a moment. I promised myself I wouldn't, but when I heard it was your sister's, I panicked. I needed your father to stop lying. You scared me, I said honestly. I know, she replied. And I'm sorry for that too. She took a breath. I never wanted to hurt you. I just wanted the truth before I ran out of time. She didn't have to explain what she meant. Her illness sat between us like a third presence. We agreed to the DNA test that day. No lawyers, no drama, just a simple kit ordered online, swabs mailed off with more emotion than either of us admitted out loud. The waiting was worse than the confrontation. My parents tried to call. I didn't answer. Rachel texted apologies that felt carefully worded like press statements. I ignored those too. I needed quiet. I needed space to let the truth arrive without anyone else shaping it first. 2 weeks later, the email came. Results available. I sat on my couch for a long time before opening it, my finger hovering over the trackpad. I realized something then. No matter what the results said, I was already changed. The secret had done its damage. The answer wouldn't fix that, but it could free me. I clicked. Probability of maternity, 99.8%. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Claire was my biological mother. I didn't cry right away. I felt empty, like something fundamental had shifted and my body hadn't caught up yet. Then the grief hit, not loud, not dramatic, but deep and steady. I called Claire. She answered on the first ring. You know, she said quietly. Yes, I replied. I never stopped thinking about you, she said. Even when they told me to. Even when they made me doubt myself. I believe you, I said. And I meant it. We talked for hours. About her life. About the daughter she raised. About the years she spent wondering if she'd imagined everything. About the years I spent wondering why I never quite fit where I stood. A week later, I told my parents. My mom cried like she was mourning someone still alive. My dad didn't argue. He didn't deny it. For the first time, he didn't try to control the narrative. I'm sorry, he said. I was a coward. I know, I replied. But your apology doesn't undo the damage. I know, he said again. I didn't cut them off. But I changed the terms. No more pretending. No more protecting lies. If we were going to have a relationship, it would be honest, or it wouldn't exist at all. Rachel and I didn't speak for a while. When we finally did, she admitted something I didn't expect. I was terrified, she said. Terrified that if you found out, everything perfect about my life would crack. It did, I said calmly. But perfection was the lie. Over time, I built something new. A relationship with Claire, slow, careful, real. A redefined relationship with the family who raised me. And a stronger relationship with myself. Now that I finally knew where I came from. The wedding video didn't ruin my family. It revealed it. It showed me how far people will go to protect an image. How silence can last decades. And how truth, once exposed, refuses to be edited out. I'm not angry anymore. I'm clear. I am Olivia Carter. I am loved by the woman who raised me. I am born of the woman who fought to be heard. And I'm done carrying secrets that were never mine to hold. Sometimes the truth doesn't arrive gently. Sometimes it shows up in 3 accidental seconds of footage. But when it does, it gives you back something priceless. Your story, your name, and the right to live it honestly.